Hello and welcome back to another video. Today here again on Gran Turismo 7 to take a look at the second of the new cars added as part of update 1.29. So I did already take a look at the Porsche 2.7 litre RS. If you want to see a video on that, do go and check that one out after this one. But today we're going to be taking a look at this 1970 Citroen DS21. It's available for 49,600 credits, which is cheapest by far car from update 1.29. So I'm taking a look at this car today as it's actually my second favourite addition in update 1.29 of the 5 cars at least, after the Porsche that we looked at the other day. The update itself is pretty big, with the implementation of PlayStation VR 2 and the first time that we can try out the new Sophie system, although only on PlayStation 5, so for people like me on the PlayStation 4 version we can't access those, unfortunately. Not that I have the new VR headset anyway, because that's very expensive. Anyway, the update also sees the return of Grand Valley, which is of course why we are here with the Citroen, as well as a couple of new escapes modes and menu books over in the cafe. There is also a more in-depth video on the update itself on the channel, so if you want to see any of those features in more detail, make sure to check that out after this. But yeah, today we're focusing on the Citroen, so let's get back to that. It obviously needs no introduction really, being a complete classic and one of the most iconic French cars ever made. Everybody is kind of aware of this car, I think, in some form or another. It's known, of course, for its unique styling, which isn't necessarily a good thing. I know there are people that believe it's one of the best looking cars ever made. I mean, I probably wouldn't agree with that, but it's certainly interesting and different. And its complicated hydro-pneumatic suspension, which is just another way of saying it's too complicated and something will probably go wrong. But yeah, it has a fantastic ride when that's working, famously, which is why these are often used, I think, for recording horse racing, because there was bumpy tracks and the camera needed to be stable, essentially. Anyway, it's obviously not a fast car. It's a large luxury car that's nearly 5 meters long and weighs 1,300 kilos, which actually these days is quite light, at least for what this is trying to be, which is a big, comfortable car. It does, though, only produce 103 horsepower, which puts it at 335 performance points in Gran Turismo, which really isn't a lot. Although, having said that, driving it felt faster than I thought it would. It actually managed to just about hit 100 miles an hour on the downhill, just. Anyway, it's time to go to the upgrade and customization shops. As with the Porsche, I don't want to go too over top with this car, but I do want to see what options are available. So there was probably, quite unsurprisingly, no widebody, although most cars do get one in Gran Turismo, and I'm not sure I'd have applied it anyway. I mean, it's not ever going to be really a performance car, so... Well, let's start with custom parts, which... Oh wow, that's really cool, actually. I'm putting those on. Well, that's it for that. Racing items. Again, I really like these classic bonnet pins. We did put those on the Porsche as well. There's a tow hook as well, which I won't do because that looks ridiculous. Can make the bulbs brighter, which I probably won't. Can we take this plate off? Should we go for a nice Type B rear only plate? Okay, so the front's looking a lot better with the spotlights, bonnet pins, and, well, the removal of the plate, basically. So I'm quite pleased with that. What I will do quickly is see if we can find a selection of interesting Citroen colours that we might be able to respray it, although I'm slightly worried we're going to lose the two-toneness of it. Rather annoyingly, these are the only two Citroen colours. Well, shades, black and white, they're not really colours. And I did try to look for DS, but there's no colours under that either, now that it's a separate brand. So, well, those are our only options of Citroen colours, so yeah, I don't think I'm going to do either of those. I will, though, see what the race options look like. Thing with these is, look, it's always straight, the number thing, not parallel to the, like, bit of trim. If I was applying a sticker myself, I would make it parallel to the bit of trim below. Although I've just noticed the bits of trim don't all actually line up with each other. Anyway, let's get rid of that. windshield banner do I want? I suppose it looks like a car that could be in a sort of classic car rally, but I still think it looks better without a banner. That's it, really. So although I said it's not really going to be for racing, I think for a bit of fun we should try and get it into this Sunday Cup 400 in Alsace, just so that we're driving a French car at a French circuit in something that I haven't won before. So I'm going to try and upgrade it to just over 400, because I don't think this is actually technically restricted, and then see if we can get it into there. So I went a bit over in the hope I could tune it back, but what I hadn't realised is some engine tuning parts you can't then, well, take off, basically. So I'm just going to put everything back on. So it's now at nearly 500, so it is a bit overpowered for the race we're going to get it in, but at least we're going to win it, and it is just kind of a bit of fun. So we've added over 100 horsepower, is basically what we've done. Anyway. So then, a car that's supposedly too good for it, but is very old, and we're against a whole load of hot hatches, so this might not be as easy as it seems, although, yeah, Gran Turismo AI aren't exactly difficult anyway, so this should be a nice, easy race. We're up to third already, so it's not too bad. 2 more laps. And into the lead. Just like that, we're going to win it quite easily, as I thought we would. But yeah, like I say, just a bit of fun, because I kind of wanted to actually use this car for something. So, there we go, that is going to do it for a very first look at the Citroen DS21 here on Gran Turismo 7. A really cool and quirky car, which is my second favourite one in the update after that Porsche, or that's what I think before driving them, and probably still now so far. But yeah, I will be back to take a look at the other vehicles, at the Honda Classic Grand Prix car, and at least one of the Vision Gran Turismo Ital designs. I think that's what they are. But yeah, for a first look at the Citroen, that is going to be all. So I think it's a fun little car, fun little addition. Not necessarily going to use it for anything, but I do like that Gran Turismo adds some quite random things. Hopefully we'll see this back in Forza one day as well, because it was in Rising 4 and then removed, I think. But anyway, for today's video, that is going to be all, and I'll be back to look at the other cars very soon. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with the next video very soon.